Bullish AMP cost expectations range somewhere in the range of $0.009686 and $0.018295 by 2030. Market experts accept AMP could reach $0.007533 by 2025. Bearish AMP market cost expectation for 2023 is $0.001722. AMP acquaintance clients have become acclimated with paying instantly and the independence from worry over security while making buys. This is somewhat more trying for blockchains. In any case, AMP is utilizing collateralization through its AMP token to ensure that network clients will not need to pick either speed and security. Despite the fact that the security token was just presented toward the finish of 2020, it has gained incredible headway. The organization is now being utilized by north of 40,000 areas, and its digital currency is beginning to build up some decent forward movement. Could we at any point conjecture the cost of AMPs? And is the token a method for installment later on? What is AMP? In the space of cryptography, there is banter about whether to put security or speed first. To guarantee the well-being of each and every exchange, security is required, yet speed is fundamental for the inescapable reception of a blockchain. Collateralization is AMP's response to this issue. Clients can wager cryptographic money with every exchange to guarantee that it will finish. The maker of Fleexa organization, Tyler Spalding, likewise established AMP. It is built on the Fleexa organization and records two main roles. While people can involve AMP for secure and prompt exchanges from their own resources, consolidating Fleexa with AMP is feasible for shippers to ensure that installments are paid progressively. The interest for a hardy and complete stage will increment as blockchain client bases keep on growing. Financial backers are starting to see the value in AMP's original thought. AMP, specialized examination, specialized investigation, demonstrates that since its send-off, the AMP cost has moved generally high and low. The coin's process started at $0.0095, and as indicated by authentic records, it kept up with this cost for a long time. Afterward, it showed an unexpected increment and crossed $0.039. It then continued with moderate exchanging after that. AMP arrived at a record high of $0.1211. Notwithstanding, following that, the coin had a precarious decay and retested around $0.039. AMP Essential Examination. AMP's white paper contends that it fills in as a mode for gathering esteem while matching the impetuses of all members in conveyed tokenized monetary organizations. This is finished by joining a non-inflationary motivator dispersion with positive input circles of rising spending capacity. Fundamental financial models are created to show that AMP proceeds as low instability security, with its worth becoming simply because of the utility it offers. By empowering decentralized proprietorship and cooperation in monetary organizations, applications based on AMP can become significant degrees more expense proficient than existing frameworks and assist with taking out the mind-boggling extra weight loss of customary social and financial designs for monetary exchanges. The archive proceeds. AMP is as of now worth $0.002152 United States dollars. AMP has moved 0.72% as of now with an exchanging volume of $6,322,092. AMP is as of now position 256 among all digital forms of money, with a market capitalization of $90,889,457 United States dollars. Using the general strength file, RSI, moving weighted normal, MWA, Williams fractal, and moving normal combination dissimilarity, MACD, from the graph above, we can decide cost designs for AMP. To conclude whether having a bullish or negative year is going. Our cost expectation conjectures utilize constant AMP market information, and all information is refreshed live on our site. This permits us to give dynamic cost expectations in view of current market movement. AMP Value Forecast 2023. AMP, from certain perspectives, is one of the most astonishing digital currencies to rise this year. The AMP cost gauge for 2023 expects a critical expansion in the year's final part, conceivably coming to $0.003229. Likewise with other digital currencies, the ascent will be progressive, however no impressive drops are normal. Averaging $0.003013 in cost is very aggressive, however it is practical soon, given expected joint efforts and progressions. AMP is supposed to have a base worth of $0.002583. AMP Value Expectation 2024 out of 2024. AMP cost forecast has a lot of space for development. Because of the likely declarations of various new associations and drives, we guess that the cost of AMP will before long outperform $0.005381. Be that as it may, we ought to hold on to check whether the AMP's overall strength file emerges from the oversold zone prior to putting down any bullish wagers. Taking into account the market instability, AMP will exchange with a base exchanging cost of $0.004305 and a typical exchanging cost of $0.004735. AMP value forecast 2025. In the event that the vertical pattern go on until 2025, it could reach $0.007533 and AMP might benefit. In the event that the market encounters a decay, the objective may not be met. AMP is supposed to exchange at a typical cost of $0.006888 and a low of $0.006457 in 2025. AMP value expectation 2026. Assuming AMP effectively supports market opinion among cryptographic money aficionados, the AMP coin cost could stay stable for the following 5 years. As per our projections, AMP will be green in 2026. The AMP is supposed to reach and outperform its unequaled high in 2026. In 2026, the virtual money will be valued at $0.009686 with a base cost of $0.008609 and a typical cost of $0.00904. AMP value expectation 2027. After some broad determining and specialized examination, we gauge the AMP cost is supposed to cross a normal value level of $0.011192 by 2027, with a base cost of $0.010762 anticipated before the year's end. Besides, AMP has a most extreme value worth of $0.011838. AMP value forecast 2028. Because representing things to come organizations that are supposed to occur by 2028, we are expecting that a bullish pattern will keep carrying the typical cost to around $0.013345. In the event that AMP figures out how to break the safe level in 2028, we could see a greatest cost of $0.01399. Neglecting to accumulate the help AMP needs by 2028 could bring about a low of $0.012914. AMP value forecast 2029. While AMP is endeavoring towards interoperability between organizations to rush association, the bullish pattern from the earlier year is supposed to proceed. So the base exchange cost has been set at $0.015067 and a yearly cost close above $0.016143 in 2029. AMP value expectation 2030. By 2030, AMP will at long last outperform its past AF value.